What's up, fellow cadets? Welcome back to Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn. I am Colonel Ribbit, and I am at your service.
So, Alphen, how many of these mausoleums do you think we've sealed up so far?
Oh, I've lost track. We've been all over the world by now.
This journey's grown longer than I expected.
Say, Shion, are you getting tired?
No, I'm fine. Why? Do I look tired? Have my clothes gotten a bit messy? Oh, or my hair. Or maybe I have bags under my eyes.
No, not at all. You're just as battle ready as ever. What I'm trying to say is, you're not forcing yourself to do this, are you?
What do you mean?
Just that maybe you'd rather live a calm life somewhere, you know? Away from fighting, where you can wear whatever you like.
Alphen, it sounds to me like you're misunderstanding something. I'm not forcing myself to do anything, okay? We're the only ones who can seal the mausoleums, right? I'm doing this because I want to. After all, I could hardly live in peace knowing the world's still in trouble. And these clothes? I wear them because I like them. I chose all of this for myself. This whole journey we're on, I want to be on it with you. To travel with you. That's why even now,
Well, that's good then. Sorry for the strange question.
Okay then. I guess that's the end of that. Come on, let's go, Alphen.
Right. Let's go, Shion.
Oh, they're so flustered, it's so cute. Okay, Calaglia. Look a little backwards, it's weird. Looks pretty much the same, just a little less rubbly.
We've reached our destination.
Huh?
What's the matter, Law?
It's just weird how quiet it is.
Are you sure? Isn't this how it normally is?
Usually there's a little more going on. Like building and repairing houses and stuff. But there's none of that.
Now that you mention it, you're right. Did they halt the repairs or something?
Well, if it isn't the blazing sword, and Law too.
Just call me Alphen.
But that's no way to speak to our hero and savior.
Just call him by his name.
Hey, what's going on? It looks like the construction's on hold.
It is. Is that why you're here?
No, I was just wondering. Mind explaining?
You know how the Crimson Crows are in charge of reconstruction? Well, they've been busy lately. Which means the repairs on my house are taking forever. My family's tired of waiting so long.
Why don't you repair it yourself?
We could make some progress if we at least had materials. But those damn Zoogles.
Oh, let me guess, you want me to fix that for you?
So you want us to do something about that?
Yes! You can find what we need in the Iglia Wastes. Should be a cakewalk for a hero, right?
Talk about getting carried away. Sheesh.
You know, I'm at this point where we should really be charging for our services.
I guess this is what heroes do now.
Alphen.
Still, we can't ignore this. Come on.
You could just walk away. I think Alphen is
Something's
what you would
bothering you
call a
again.
People
pushover.
rely on us because we're heroes. And we just drop everything to help them because it's expected of us. Is
See?
that really the way it should be?
Alphen knows, he gets it. But he's not really doing anything about it, is he?
What could
Oh.
this be?
So if this is the wishing well, I've just taken all your wishes. Excuse me as I walk all over your fresh crops as well.
Everything we need is here.
Hopefully this will help the reconstruction start again.
You're lost in your thoughts again.
That was probably the blazing sword they needed, not me.
People who know you see you.
We all have a hard time with the discrepancy between our true self and the impression others have of us. But I doubt such knowledge will help you feel any better right now.
Hey, why don't we go back to Ulzebek? There's no point in staying here anyway.
Right. Let's go.
All we have to do is get rid of that thing, right?
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
No further!
Here's evil.
Take this! Now you see what I can do!
You picked the wrong fight!
Here, let me help. You got something?
Exploit the enemy!
Outstanding force.
In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed blast.
You're finished!
Far enough. Celestial Runner.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Negative. And that takes care of the Zoogles. Wait, what's this? There's more than just clothing here. The leftovers of some kind of meal. What's it doing in a place like this?
Back, are ya? How did it go?
Not bad. That should be all taken care of.
Oh, wow, that's great! I knew I could count on the blazing sword. Thank you, I really appreciate it.
The blazing sword until the bitter end, huh? I wonder what he would have done if I'd turned him down.
Well, I guess he probably would have been disappointed that you couldn't help him.
But I can't help everyone. It's like I'm doomed to fail them. Sometimes I think Volron was right. Is this my only choice? Drop everything every time someone needs help? Is that even me anymore? I talk to Nazamil like I'm some sort of role model. But look at me. What future?
Alphen.
I knew it would be like this if I came to the city. Why did I agree to come?
Alphen. Why did you save me? Was it just because you were a hero?
No, of course not. That's not it. I just...
You chose to fight because you had a reason, right? Regardless of what that reason may have been. Don't forget that you have friends. That there are people who can help guide you. That's part of the reason why I wanted you to come here with me. It's because I wanted to help remind you of that fact. From what I remember, there should be someone in this city who can help you in ways that the rest of us can't.
The Crimson Crows? No, not them.
Doc?
Doc. Right. Doc.
Pay him a visit.
Oh yeah. Doc's living in Olzebek now.
Oh.
You're looking good, Doc.
You aren't looking too good yourself, though. I've been wondering when you'd show up. So, what is it? I don't know what you're struggling with, but just spit it out. That's the reason you've come here, isn't it?
I can't keep any secrets from you, can I? So, the truth is...
I see. So everyone comes to you asking for your help.
I don't mind being relied on. I mean, I'm happy to help. It's just that...
They take it for granted because you're a hero. That must be tough. I don't blame you.
I just don't understand. Renans hate me without question, while Danans call me a hero. Who in the world am I?
We spent such a long time as slaves. In some ways, I suppose we're still trying to get free. Listen, Alphen, how many hands do you have?
Hands? Well, I have 2.
And how many things can you hold at once with those 2 hands?
Oh.
You think the blazing sword can hold hundreds or thousands of things at once just because he's a hero? Nonsense.
Well...
All they see is the legend. They can't tell the difference between Alphen the person and Alphen the blazing sword. That's your real problem, isn't it? So you need to tell them. Remind them that you only have 2 hands.
Are you saying I should abandon people even when they're asking for my help?
Not at all. You want to help everyone. That's a great mindset, and there's nothing wrong with it. However, in order for you to meet everyone's needs, you would have to grow 1,000 hands. No, even 1,000 wouldn't be enough. You'd still miss something, and the people would still complain. All you can do is choose what's important to you. What will you do with just those 2 hands of yours? You are the one who decides, Alphen. Not the people, not the blazing sword, but you.
I decide. I decide for myself. I do.
What's going on?
I don't know, but it's gotta be something big. That's the blazing sword, you know.
Everyone, listen. I once fought with my friends against the Renan Lords. I did so because I thought it was the way to save everyone. I always thought that I had an obligation to fight, to help those unable to fend for themselves. But I realized I was wrong. I can certainly fight to some extent, but I'm still just a human. I'm not a god or a hero.
What are you saying?
No way! You mean you're not going to help us anymore?
That's not what I'm saying. I want to do all I can. But not because I'm some hero. Not because anyone told me to. I want to do it because I choose to. Even so, there's a limit to what I can do. And that's why...
You're saying you'll be a hero, who helps when you're truly needed.
Nath.
When Zephyr died, we foisted that responsibility entirely on you, rather than sharing the burden. Eventually, you'll be gone, just like Zephyr. Everyone dies in the end, whether they are a hero or not. We need to learn to fend for ourselves, and not rely entirely on you, or on any individual for that matter. Am I right?
Right, exactly. I believe that is the path to real, lasting freedom. For all of us. But each and every one of you will need to work together. I'm asking for your help.
You heard him. The time for depending completely on others is over. From here on out, we have to find ways to do whatever we can on our own. As long as we work together, I'm sure we'll be fine. Go ahead and leave the rest to us. You focus on yourself. I'm sorry for burdening you with so much up until now.
Thanks.
Now just to spread that message across all the realms.
Feeling better?
Yeah. I guess, in the end, it seems I was bound by the word hero myself.
You freaked me out when you suddenly decided to talk to everyone on your own like that.
Those who depend entirely on others cannot truly call themselves free. A good lesson that we all should keep in mind.
The people here will eventually understand. I really believe that.
If everyone can learn to truly think and decide for themselves, I think they'll start seeing a lot of things differently. And hopefully, one day, they'll realize that the differences between Danins and Renins don't matter at all.
So then, now that you've decided to follow your heart, what do you want to do next, Alphen?
I want to find Nazamil. I'm not sure what she's going through, but I can't help but feel like she needs us. But first, I want to go to Niez.
Yes.
I want to speak to the people in different cities like I did in Ulzabek. I'll start with Niez. I'll start sowing the seeds in every town, so that maybe, one day...
That's quite an undertaking. Difficult for a hero, let alone one man.
Well, I guess we'll just have to lend him a hand then, won't we?
Niez it is then.
Unlike Ulzabek, both Danins and Renins live in Niez. How do you plan to start?
Good question. Do you think we should talk to people separately or together?
Separately would raise questions. I believe at the same time is better.
Hey, if we find anyone who needs help here...
I know. We'll make sure to ask what's wrong.
Yeah! Yes! That Alphen!
Right!
Up with outfits sounds more fun than just review.
Up, Alphen? Hey, you too, Lord Man!
Haste makes waste, young one.
Oh, don't even start with me on that. Come on, we're keeping everyone waiting.
He's right. Xion and Rinwell must be getting impatient with us too.
I don't believe that's the case. Look, they seem to be enjoying themselves.
It feels so comforting to just sit quietly side by side, next to each other. And being able to follow through with something you've set your mind to like that. It's dependable, you know?
Wow, you really have a soft spot for that sort of thing, don't you?
Are they talking about...
Yeesh. Kinda awkward if we butted in now, right, Alphen?
Not at all. We should say something.
No. It would be rude of us to interrupt. Let us assess the situation and choose the time to make our entrance with propriety.
You mean eavesdrop?
Personally, I really like those light, nimble movements. There's a graceful fluidity to them. And the strike that comes afterwards, it's always so cool, no matter which way you look at it.
Strike? Hold up.
For me, it's the poise I'm fond of. That dignified demeanor never seems to falter, all while staying alert and being receptive to even the most subtle shift in sounds.
Sounds.
I know. And those big, beautiful, thoughtful eyes. I keep finding myself inadvertently gazing into them.
Big, beautiful, and thoughtful?
She's right. Alphen does have beautiful eyes.
But if anyone has thoughtful eyes, it's Dohalim.
But surely Big Eyes refers to Law?
I can't wait to see Zare again.
The cat! When I see you speaking with other Renans, they always look so happy. It's made me realize just how many people depend on you, Dohalim.
I'm glad to be able to help, but I do feel it goes a bit too far sometimes.
You can say that again. Apparently there are even some who want you to be the new ruler of the Renan people.
I suspect their minds are still trapped in the Renan mentality that the strong have an inherent right to rule and should be followed. Unfortunately for them, the reign they envision was but a fantasy, even in the old days. Going forward, they will need to face reality.
Yeah, a reality with no more lords or sovereigns.
Though there are still those enthralled by my title of former lord. I hope to see the day when they too can stand on their own two legs.
That said, I don't think people place their faith in you just because you were once a lord. I kept it from you so as not to burden you further, but there have been quite a few requests for you in Vicent as well.
Is that so? For what, pray tell?
Some want you to pass on your extensive knowledge by becoming a school teacher. Others say they want you to help them learn to appreciate music. And, as a request for the elegant and handsome Dohalim, there were even some who wished to be your lover.
Well, that's a scary voice.
Sounds less like people want things from him, and more like they just want him. I wish people talked about me like that!
There he goes, talking like an idiot again.
When it comes to children, they all want you to be their father. Sing them songs, read them stories, that sort of thing. It's actually rather sweet.
I see. Not all things people desire of me are quite so vapid, I suppose.
Yes. As a side note, I should mention that most of these requests happen to come from women. It must be wonderful to be so popular,
Kisara, why are you staring at me with a gaze like the coldest winter?
In the end, it sounds like wherever Dohalim goes, he leaves a string of hearts in his wake.
I certainly do no such thing.
Huh? I think someone's calling out for us. Wow, Kisara. I'm amazed you know how to weave grass like that. You said you learned it from Miguel, right? It sounds like he really did teach you everything.
Yes. Just like that girl's mother. He used to weave grass into bracelets and necklaces for me back when we were kids.
Kisara?
Sorry, it's just... It occurred to me that something he taught me to make me smile is now bringing a smile to someone else's face. I know that I could never be as great as my brother.
You were the one who decided to fix the bracelet and find the girl.
Dohalim.
Miguel's dream is still alive thanks to you.
You're right. Thanks to meeting all of you, I can say my dreams are no longer just dreams.
Exactly. I couldn't even hope to count all the times I've been saved by your shield.
Yeah, Kisara. I can even do some housework now because you taught me.
You've always been a really good listener when I've got something on my mind.
And that one time I stained my clothes during a meal, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there to help.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. It sounds like I've been helping all of you more than I realized. The ideals imparted to us can still be made a reality, but only by those who are alive now, in the present. I chose that path. There's still a long way to go, but for some reason, I feel radiant right now.
Oh? How very curious. Walking next to you, I feel the same way.
Oh. Cute.
Hey, you're still hanging out at the library, right? Anything interesting happen lately?
Anything interesting? Well, I have found plenty of interesting new books to read.
Yeah? Like what?
Books on horticulture, culinary techniques, things like that. Recently, I've been diving into some new topics. I've gotten to know some of the other people at the library, and they've been recommending all sorts of new books for me to try.
So they're, like, book buddies, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Any book I choose for myself is going to be colored by my own preferences, so it helps to have some outside opinions. I'm broadening my horizons.
Yeah, great. Just don't spend too much time reading. It's not healthy.
Excuse me? You're the one who brought up the library. You just wanted to say that?
No, just... never mind.
Oh. Could it maybe be that you're lonely?
Huh? As if?
There's nothing wrong with that. I feel lonely sometimes too, being away from you guys. I think it's normal for friends to miss each other. But no matter how much I wonder what you're all doing out there, it's not like I can just pop over and see you.
Yeah, kinda hard to do that when we live in different realms.
But still, it's nice that we get to hang out from time to time, like now. Even if it is, you know, in the name of necessity. I'm always looking forward to seeing you all again. And that helps give me strength when I'm alone.
I've been looking forward to seeing you all again too. I didn't realize we both felt the same way. Alright, I'm gonna work my butt off when I get back to the Crimson Crows. I've gotta be able to keep up with you after all.
Just don't go overboard and get yourself injured.
It'll be fine. I'm far too tough to get injured that easily.
See? It's exactly that kind of attitude that I'm worried about. Ugh.
Got your face stuck in a book as usual, huh? What kind of stuff do you read anyway?
All sorts of things. Ancient accounts, histories. Just recently, I was reading a book about astral arts.
So what's the point? Does this, like, make your astral arts stronger?
No. I just read because I like to learn. Though, it is also helpful for my research.
Research?
Mm-hmm. For example, I'm looking into whether it's possible to combine Danon magic with Ren and astral arts. I'm also interested in the mausoleums and Dana's past.
Okay, I'll admit, I'm not totally following. But, is there a purpose to this research? Like a goal?
A purpose? Well, I guess there is something I'd like to try someday. I want to try writing my own book, instead of just reading what others have written.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. What kind of book do you want to write?
I have several ideas I've been thinking about, but most of all, I'd like to write about Danon magic. Leave as much of my knowledge behind as possible, you know? And also, If there are any other Danons out there who can use magic, like me, maybe that book could help me find them.
Wow, you've really thought this through. You're amazing, you know that?
What's gotten into you? I'll have you know that flattery won't get you anywhere.
Law is correct. All the knowledge you've gained on Danon magecraft would be lost if not made manifest. That book would serve as a guiding light to scholars for generations to come.
You're gonna embarrass me if you keep talking like that. It's no big deal. I just like to study, that's all.
I know what you mean. Whether books or art, there is an indescribable, fragrant allure to those things that have traversed the ages.
Yeah, who doesn't like the smell of old books?
Yeah, totally! They do smell, yummy, don't they?
What? La, please don't eat my books.
Masks?
They left. What was that all about?
It sure doesn't seem like any sort of festival. I've got a very bad feeling about this.
The way they didn't seem to be listening to anything brings back some bad memories, huh?
What we saw at Volron's castle. You're right. Just what's going on?
And those masks.
Yeah. They look just like the iron mask I once wore.
We should find someone who can fill us in.
They're all wearing masks.
They aren't responding to anything we say. What's going on?
Maybe we can find someone without a mask.
Really creepy.
They're all wearing the same masks. Even the Renans. Hey, can you hear me? Hello? It's useless. What's going on? Do these come off?
Removing them should be our last resort. If the masks caused this, who knows what happens if we take them off?
I'm actually creeped out.
They don't look hurt, but they're so silent. It's creepy.
Either Danon or Renan is fine. Isn't there anyone here without a mask?
Maybe they've taken shelter somewhere. Let's have a look around.
Who is it?
Bayfun? You're safe. What's happening? What was wrong with those people out front?
Well... A while back, some very odd folks showed up in town. They were all wearing masks, but there were both Renans and Danons among them. But that wasn't the weirdest part of the whole thing. Who do you think was leading them?
Don't tell me Nazamil.
I don't know. Who?
Nazamil.
Wait, why?
What do you mean? How could Nazamil be leading them?
What is she
It's
doing?
exactly as I said. Only one person was wearing a different mask than the others, and it was her. No doubt about it. They called themselves Cal Basil.
The one path.
They said they had come to bring peace. However, their methods made that very hard to believe. They started putting those masks on all the people here, and you saw what happened to them after that.
You mean you couldn't stop them? What happened? Where were the Dark Wings?
Nazamil was using some astral art. It was nearly impossible to resist her.
I see. But you managed to slip away and hide here.
What is Nazamil up to? Turning people into her puppets with those masks.
They say they bring peace. And I guess technically, they can't fight if they're all being controlled like that.
Nazamil told us to be patient a little longer, didn't she?
Whatever is going to happen, it must be imminent. Do you know where they were headed?
Shinefall Woods, in Ganeth Harrows. I know it's odd, but when someone asked where they came from, that's where they said their base is.
They're not even trying to hide? Could it be some kind of trap?
We'll just have to go and find out. I see no other options.
Phase 1's coming along well. Soon, Phase 2 will come. Everything is going perfectly. Just you wait.
What are you doing?
So, Alphen, what kind of information are you after first? What's the most important thing to know about weddings?
Flowers, maybe?
You know, Shion was saying something about bouquets.
What was that, Rinwell?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I agree, though. Flowers that match the bride are a must.
They are, right? By the way, will our cover be okay? I don't want Shion to know what I'm up to.
We're good. Kisara's on Shion distraction duty, so we should have plenty of time. We'll make sure Shion keeps busy while you're gathering information. That way you should be able to keep it a secret from her.
Thanks. I don't mean to cause trouble for everyone just because of some weird whim of mine.
We don't mind, but be sure to explain everything to Shion at some point. So, you need info on flowers. What do you want to know exactly?
What kind of flowers are best for a wedding? If there are any special kinds you need? That kind of thing. White's the best color, right?
I think you should talk to an expert on the subject. Anyone come to mind?
Well, I don't know how much he knows about flowers, but Mahavar sailed around the world. Maybe somewhere on his travels he picked up some knowledge about flora.
He's taken us out on his ship lots of times. Starting with our pursuit of Almadria. He's in Thistleum now, right? I'm pretty sure that's what Dohalim said.
Let's go see if he can help.
The Crimson Crows are so cool! I want to join myself someday.
Nice. I'm sure you'll make it in. When you do, I'll be right there with you.
How mature of you to be thinking about the future already.
The Crimson Crows isn't just it, though. There are a whole lot of other things I want to do, too.
Like what?
I want to go out and travel all around the world, like you guys.
That's great. Traveling's a blast.
Also, I still want to make something and sell it to people. I haven't forgotten my promise, Shion.
I'm looking forward to you making something tasty.
Have you ever thought of coming to Vicent to study? It could be an opportunity to learn about both traveling and sales.
Studying, huh? I've never done anything like that before. It sounds hard, but maybe I'll give it a try. I'll have to be brave to make life better for everyone here. Like when Alphen broke down that wall.
That is laudable insight to have at your age.
You should know, though, that balancing that with the Crimson Crows will be no easy feat.
What if you put together a new group? It could be your very own crew. Traveling the world, doing business.
Whoa, that sounds amazing! Okay, and we're gonna be called the Awesome Fearless Dreamers!
Ooh, I like it. A name like that just screams courage.
Don't you think it's a bit long? Well, I suppose it gets the idea across.
Can we have a minute?
Oh, Alphen! How you been? What's with the serious face?
I've come to glean some of your worldly knowledge. Do you know what kind of flowers are best suited for a wedding ceremony?
Flowers? For a wedding?
Yeah. Do they need to be a special kind? Any practical information you have would be helpful. I think some kind of pretty white flowers would be best.
Whoa there, hold on just a minute. I'm glad you thought of me for advice, but, you know, I'm not really the flower type.
Oh, can't you remember anything? It's super important.
If the flowers are for a wedding, then why not just use whatever kind of flowers the bride and groom both like?
There's no particular type that I like. Heck, I barely even know the names of any flowers.
Wait, Alphen, it's your... I think I get it now. In that case, I'll give it some more thought. Maybe... Nah, that's all wrong. Oh! There's a Calaglian legend that's perfect for this kind of thing.
A legend?
Yeah, they say there's a rare flower that grows only in Calaglia. The legend goes that if you wear it, you'll be happy forever.
Really? I'd never heard that one.
Now that you mention it, I think I read about that flower before.
If you ask the Calaglians, I'm sure they could tell you more.
Then it's probably quickest to ask the Crimson Crows for info.
Thanks, Mahavar. I knew I could count on you.
Same goes for you. I won't press you for details on your plans, but good luck.
Thanks. See you around.
I don't see any masked people wander.
Around. Luckily, this place is fairly secluded. It seems Cal Basil's influence hasn't reached it yet.
A flower that makes you happy when you wear it. What a beautiful legend for...
Tilsa, I didn't know you'd come back here.
Yeah, I switch off between here and Pelagian. What's with you, Alphen? You in some kind of trouble?
No, not exactly. I'm looking for a certain flower. I heard that a flower that makes you happy when you wear it grows around here.
A flower that what? It sounds like crazy talk.
It's supposed to be rare and only grows in Calaglia. You haven't heard of it?
Rare, huh? It could be that one flower. You know, the white one that grows in the Iglia wastes.
Oh, that one. I've certainly never seen it anywhere else, but I didn't know it had that kind of legend attached to it. So why do you need this flower that makes you happy anyway?
I'm, doing some research on wedding ceremonies. I don't know anything about them, so I thought I'd start by looking into bouquets. In my research, I heard about a perfect flower that grows in Calaglia, so I decided to track it down.
I see. Wedding ceremonies, huh? If you're looking into that kind of thing, I assume you...
You've got your reasons, right, Alphen? I wish nothing but the best for you. However, the area where that flower grows has been full of Zeugles recently. They may have trampled all the flowers fled.
Guess we'll just have to go and see. Thank you for all the information.
Hang on, why are Tilsa and Nath grinning like fools?
You figure it out. You think maybe he wants the flowers to make a bouquet? To give to someone?
You mean, Alphen, you planning on making someone special the happiest woman in the world?
Wait a minute, I never said anything like that. I'm simply trying to learn more about weddings.
You traitor! I'm supposed to be the first, then it's your turn!
No, you're misunderstanding. It's really not like that. Nath, back me up here.
If we're jumping to conclusions, then just ignore that ignoramus and go off to find the flowers. But be careful.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Wait, Alphen! Ah, damn it!
Let's head to the Iglia Wastes. We might get to see the actual flowers we could use in a bouquet up close and personal.
Right. I just hope Zeugles haven't destroyed them. So, Law, what have you been up to with the Crimson Crows lately?
Well, all sorts of things. Keeping Zeugles in check, hauling supplies, whatever people need me for. Most of it's manual labor, but one time they sent me to find some kid who'd run away from town.
Sounds like they really rely on you.
I don't know about that. The kids like me, at least. I've also escorted some traveling merchants from time to time.
More and more merchants are traveling between the realms these days, after all.
Yeah, that's right. The other day, I was even hired to escort this lady who works as a traveling peddler.
Knowing you, You were probably fawning over her the whole way there.
I'd never do that. This was a job, you know. Took it seriously and got her from point A to point B. Or, well, I guess maybe I put in a bit more effort than usual. Because guess what? She had a special token of her gratitude for me.
A special what? And you accepted it?
Oh yeah, that sweet, sweet gratitude.
Excuse me? Oh my gosh, Law! How is that taking it seriously? Oh, you're the worst!
Huh? What are you getting mad at me for? Aren't I allowed to enjoy a few apples?
What? Apples?
Yeah, I couldn't eat them all myself, so I shared some with the kids in town. They loved them.
Ugh, you did that on purpose, didn't you? Don't even talk to me anymore.
Huh? Hey, what'd I do? I'm totally lost, man.
You might want to, think about how things are gonna sound before you say them.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
They really are.
There are a few that aren't harmed. So these are the flowers that can make you happy. Got it. Learned something new.
It was nice to see the real thing. Since we took care of the Zoogles that trampled them, they should grow back soon.
You're right. If someone wants them for a wedding bouquet, they'll probably be able to pick some here. Though it may take a while for enough to bloom for a whole bouquet. Something wrong, Rinwell?
It's nothing. I just had a lonely thought.
Lonely? What thought?
I was imagining your wedding. Your bride might be someone very close to me. A dear friend. This was just a thought, remember? But if it is someone like that, I'd naturally be overjoyed for two people I love, but at the same time, I'd probably feel a little like I was losing my closest friend.
Rinwell.
Alphen, if it does turn out that way, you have to promise me you'll take care of her forever. Look at me. I can't even picture it without welling up.
Rinwell, I haven't made any decisions about my future. So you should put thoughts like that out of your head. But you really care about that friend of yours, don't you? I'm sure if this friend heard what you just told me, she'd be very happy. I feel like I should thank you. Thanks, Rinwell.
You're welcome. I'm sorry for wasting your time with my crazy thoughts.
No, it's okay.
Oh, and I had another idea. When a bride throws the bouquet, only one person can catch it, right? I always thought that was unfair. Maybe you can do something about that. Like, give one flower to each person or something.
Isn't throwing the bouquet part of the fun? If you hand out flowers instead, then won't some people be disappointed?
You may be right. Maybe there's some other way. What do you think, Hootle? Hootle and I will talk it over. If we come up with something good, then maybe it'll take off. Hey, Hootle! Think we could discuss that bouquet we were talking about earlier?
Alright, my fellow cadets. Colonel Ribbit is signing out.
Sounds fun.